Aya, tuendelee. Do you want to just benefit from nice things and all? Square hivyo bana. Leo tunatengeneza yasiko nyingine ya mboga ya chai inaitwa mkate. Poflo. Hey, good bread is such an unforgettable experience. Boy. Hey, the amount of tea I have drunk this season. Imagine we're not doing anything else. Lazima chai kuona escort. Huwezi kunywa tu chai hivi. Chai kafu, plain, hapana. So we are making bread. My people, where? This is bread. Good bread is such an unforgettable experience. An unforgettable eating experience. Jesus said, I am the bread of life. Yani mkate wa uzima. Imagine this is not bread that has been bought from the supermarket or from wherever. We made this right at home. And that's what we're making today. We are baking wholemeal bread on the John Rome Bakes YouTube channel. Let's get to baking. So guys, I'm showing you how to make a very simple loaf of bread. Brown is apparently healthy, more fiber, and it's an advantage. You stay full for longer if you eat high fiber. So I have here equal amounts of all-purpose white flour and brown Atta, if you live in Kenya, Atta Flour. We're not naming brands. They ain't paid for the show, so. Guys, a confession first. Since COVID started in 2020, I have not bought bread in my house. See it in our India, but you can actually make bread at home. It's very simple. 3, maximum 4 ingredients: water, flour, yeast. Those are the basic ones. You can do sugar, salt, and a bit of oil, but actually those 3: water, flour, yeast. You have a loaf of bread. So today we're making a brown bread, a brown loaf of bread, wholemeal Atta Flour. So I'm feeling lazy. I'm going to do part of the mixing in my mixer. So what I do, I get the flour. I have here 450 grams of white flour, 450 grams of Atta or brown flour, wholemeal flour, stone ground, stone milled. Apparently it's a better result, but not absolutely necessary. Good Atta flour or brown bread flour, if you live in Kenya, should work just perfectly. So in there, then I'm going to put the yeast. I'm going to, all the yeast goes in. Then on the opposite side, please do not put salt exactly on top of the yeast. I'm using pink salt. Put it on the opposite side. Do not put it exactly on top of the yeast. Sea salt or pink salt yields a better result in baked goods. Normal salt will work, but you might want to use a little less than you would normally use if you're using the other salt. So yeast is a living thing. So I'm going to measure in some honey. Don't worry, the kind of bottle my honey comes in. I get this from a guy who rears natural honey. So he's not started packaging yet, so yeah. So about 20 or so grams of honey. And then I have lukewarm water. I'm going to add, I have 600 ml of lukewarm water, but I'm not going to use all of it. Flour is different and it absorbs water differently. It depends on where you live and the kind of wheat that is grown there, and yeah. So I have 600 ml of lukewarm water, hand warm water. maji ya kuosha mtoto, like yeah. And then I'm just going to put like half of it first in there. And then I am going to run this. I will watch that like a hawk, and I'll see if it needs more water. Oh, I forgot some cooking oil. I'm using olive oil. You're making a healthy loaf of bread, but any cooking oil works. Melted butter works even better. That looks good. Once it comes together, you want to switch this off. And this is not a quick bread, guys. What I've done here, any wax surface, but to make mine more non-stick, I've just laid down this fondant or pastry mat, silicone fondant mat. Then I want to turn this out onto a flat, lightly flat. Okay, I've overdone it, but to turn this onto a lightly flat surface. You thought you were going to get away without kneading. Ha! Not today! This is not one of those quick breads we are making. So you are going to need to activate the gluten in the flour, because we want a nice fluffy loaf of bread. Oh, you see, I didn't use all the water. Yeah. Kneading action, guys. This is a good way to get rid of some aggression. This is a good time to work them out. Baking is therapy. By the way, subscribe. Have you guys subscribed? Imagine we're not doing anything else. Madam, subscribe kwanza. We are waiting. The button. Iko pande gani? Pande hii. This side? Okay. See that button? Ebu. Notifications pia. Click on it. Subscribe. Sawa. Share. And share the recipe. If you want to just benefit from nice things and all. Square hivyo bana. I'm subscribed. Buttons pia ume. Yeah, good. Aya, tuendelee. You see, that's the makasiriko I was talking about. Getting rid of my aggression now by kneading. Maskini mtu akisema mambo ya familia. Sisi hatupangi makasiriko. Watu ndio huleta makasiriko. Anyway, moving on. You want to knead this until it fights back. Okay, what do I mean? Ukipoke, it springs back out. But oh well, not yet. So gluten is activated when, if you press, see, fights back. You press, comes back up. It's a good sign. You want to get this into a bowl. No wastage, guys. See this oil that remained from no wastage. Yeah, I'm one. So you want to put this in here. Then you want to cover this in cling film, and then leave it alone until it doubles in size. Keep it in a preferably warm place somewhere in your kitchen. Once it's risen, then we'll get back to it, and I'll show you what we'll be doing to it before it becomes pofuro mukate ya kukula na chai. Watu wangu, my people, our bread has more than doubled in size. So, bread making is a process. So usikue, or should have oiled this, but oh well. Try to avoid wastage on this channel. So, no wastage. Okay, trying to add. So now we are going to do something called knocking it down. This is fun. So knock it down, knock it down, knock it down. So let's not overflood the surface. So just knock it down. Then we're going to shape it. Now, this is enough to get us 2 loaves of bread. The reason I did this, you don't have to have baking tins. Uko na kasufuria kako kadogo, umekapaka mafuta, you can use it to bake your bread. See, there is round bread. Kwani lazima? Or just a plain, what is this called? A plain baking sheet greased. You can have, shape it, shape it, shape it, shape it, shape it, shape it, shape it. The fold at the bottom and place it on a baking tin for it to rise a second time, and you still have your loaf of bread. Usipanic that ukiona ati iko na baking tins, fancy baking tins. You can shape this any way you want. If you are feeling, and you can divide this into 3, roll it into sausages, and do a breaded loaf. But for ease of making sandwiches, because we're making a sandwich loaf, I'm going to do one here, and then I'm going to use my round baking tin. This can be your sufuria to put it in here. It needs to rise for a second time, guys. It needs to rise for a second time. Good bread takes time, so don't hurry your process. So first rise, then this goes into my baking tin. It's greased, guys. It's greased. I use baking spray. There are different brands. They are at time a lifesaver, because what do? They save you the time you used to grease your tin. But kama it's not available to you, just get your normal blue band or butter or cooking oil and very well grease the tin. Another thing you can do to make it look fancy, you can add a bit of oats or seeds, chia seeds, sesame seeds. You can sprinkle those on top of your bread and make it look really nice and fancy. You can put some in there and put some on the top. Yeah, it makes it nice, different kind of bread. So this one, ina mambo, I just put it in there. The part that is folded, you may have a chin, and then I'll just sort of press it in so it gets to all the corners. Then we'll cover it with cling film and let it rise a second time. Just pressing it so that it goes into all the corners. You can get bread tins, get good quality ones that last you like your baking journey, the rest of your baking journey. You can have a sandwich left. So what I'm going to do, just going to take the same cling film. I'm going to cover this one, and then the other one, I'll get cling film and cover it as well for the second rise. Okay, the second rise is in the tin while it's greased. So instead of wasting the oil, I'm not wasting this one because I don't want this to get in contact with the mini. So I'm going to just cover this loosely with cling film that has been oiled on one side so that if you try this and it goes beyond, yeah. We leave it in a warm place to rise for a second time. I'm going to do the same for this one. Yeah, then leave it to rise for a second time. By this time, you have started thinking about preheating your oven. But this could take up to an hour, depending on how warm where you live. Inategemea na pale unaishi. They say on average, most homes, inside of homes, is between 21 to 25, roughly, inside ambient temperature. But depending on how warm your house is, that's why I say leave this in the kitchen. It's like could be the warmest place in the room, or you can put it inside your oven and close it. Maybe the oven was warm from baking previously, or you're cooking on top. Just a warm place away from drafts or wind or whatever, cold draft of air. Leave it to rise a second time. We'll be right back. I have some a mixture of chia and pumpkin here. So you can sprinkle some water on the top of your bread before it rises, and then you can press it slightly so it just sticks. Yeah, I think let's do this around as well. If you wanted it to be on the sides, you could have just put it in there before, A healthy looking brown loaf of bread. Just a little. Don't be heavy-handed like me. Ha! Everything in moderation, guys. Yeah, I'm just tapping it so that it sticks. But it should stick because of the water. Then just uncover it with cling film that has been oiled on one side, so that see, oiled on one side, so that if it's in contact with the bread, it doesn't stick. So we're leaving this to rise for a few minutes, an hour. Again, like I said, it depends on how warm your home is. So yeah, you can help it along by putting it in a oven umewasha alafu umezima. Put the oven on for a few minutes, preheat, and then switch it off. Open the door so that most of that heat leaves, and then you can put your bread inside. But warm, not hot. We are not baking it. We just want it to rise for a second time. I'm taking this to the kitchen to rise, and we'll be right back. Well, when the Bible says your yeasts have sent you in among your salt, well, I think this is what it means. A little yeast is able to work through a batch of dough and to raise it. Okay, we are not wasting the seeds. See? It was down here, but it worked. Oh, yeast is a living organism, guys. Treat it with some respect. Feed it. Remember the honey we put in there? We are feeding the yeast. So what it does is that as it grows, when it comes in contact with water and some sugar, it feeds on sugar. It grows and produces carbon dioxide, which is what causes the bread to rise. Yeah, so treat your yeast with some respect, and it will be the gift that keeps on giving. Now this is ready for the oven. It's going to be the softest, fluffiest loaf, I can already tell. So preheat your oven. Bread loves a hot oven, so you want to preheat your oven to 220 degrees. Again, depending on your oven, you can convert that in Fahrenheit and Celsius. Over to you. Okay. Mathematics kidogo. Yeah. But anyway, baking is a science. So you want to preheat your oven high, 220, and then put it in a hot oven. And keep it that way for the first few minutes. Then you can lower it if you sense a bit of browning. If it's browning and becoming burning, actually, just tent it with foil. Like loosely put some foil on top so that the inside cooks and the outside, the inside cooks and the outside doesn't burn. How do you test bread to know when it's ready, guys? Cakes we've been doing, we put like a skewer or a knife in the middle and it comes out. Bread, you have to tap the bottom. You see, it doesn't sound hollow yet because it's not good. It's risen but not good. It sounds, it's a dull thud. So this is going to the oven, 220, preheated oven immediately. Alafu itambake. We will be right back after a short commercial break. Thank you. There you are. All those are falling off, just to be understood. Yeah, it's good. Guys, aloes out of the oven. So we are going to try and get it out. Look at that. Okay, you can't hear the sound, but you should be making one of those. Some of this all came off. When they baked, they hardened. Yeah. So this is cooked, and the proof of the pudding is in the eating, like we like saying on this show. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. So my people, munaona mukate ya kujipikia nyumbani. See how amazing. This is still warm. All I could do. Saizi hata hakuna story nyingi. Butter. That's it. Simple. Na nimekula lunch. Anyway, just joking. But this is sandwich bread made from home. Let me just tear. Wacha nimege mkate wa uzima. I like the crust. So guys, why are you still buying bread? You can make bread at home. Kwisha. From the recipe, we actually came up with 2 loaves of bread. You understand? So you have bread supply for I don't know how long. Nategemea kama sijui kwa anakulanga mkate anakulanga bofro ngapi. Sasa lakini nategemea hii nakutolea 2. So 2 loaves of bread and they can last you depending on how fast people eat bread in your house, again, from 3-4 days to even several weeks. Wrap this in cling film. You can freeze one of them and then thaw it and use it as needed. But kama hii, just leave it on the countertop but wrap it tightly. Yeah. Ibada watu wangu. Nimeenda. Bye.